All right, hello everybody. My name is Frankie here at Genuine Reference Studios. I also go by the name of Dank Frank, aka Ngon, aka the Duppy Man. Thank you guys for joining me today. Today I'm going to be going over basic methods of sampling inside of Machine MK3 or the Native Instruments Machine platform. I'll be using the hardware, the MK3. I'll be also showing you guys the Numark PTO1, and I'll be using this to record or sample vinyl. We're just going to be using the line out of the PTO1 into the line in of the MK3. Normally, you would probably use that into your interface or any type of sampling device inside of the line in of that. So let me go ahead and grab a couple records and then we'll jump right into it and I'll show you guys how to do this. All right, so I grabbed these two records that someone had donated to the studio. I've never listened to them before, so I don't know what's on there, but we'll just try to go through them and see if there's anything cool that we can use. First one is looks like it's an accordion album, which I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see. See what's on there. Looks like they're like accordion covers. All right, so you want to click on one of your groups, A, B, C. I'm going to click on C because I actually have some samples that I did earlier on some of the other channels, but I'm going to go ahead and click on C. And then you can click on any of the 16 pads where you would like to sample to. I'm going to go ahead and hit one on the hardware. This is where you would click on the first little empty bank in here. And all these 1 through 16 correspond with the 1 through 16 on the hardware, the little pads. So we'll click on one. Then you're going to click on this little waveform tab right here, and that'll take you to the sampling area. You can also do that on the hardware by hitting the sampling tab right here. So we're in there, and then under input, we have your sources. So this can be your external stereo, external mono, or an internal source. You can resampling inside of the hardware. Um, External mono would just be sampling like a mono, bass or something just mono. You could sample, sample this in mono, but I'm going to be doing stereo today. Your line input would be the inputs that you're going to use to record into your audio interface. Underneath recording, we have the different modes of recording. So you have detect, sync, and loop. I have mine set to detect. So what that does is you set the threshold, and once you hit play or once something passes that threshold, that's when it will start to record. Sync will sync up to the hardware. So as soon as you hit play, it'll sync up with the hardware and it'll start playing. And then you can assign it to record 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars, how many bars you'd like. That's really good if you're going to try to do an internal sample. A loop will basically do the same thing. I want to say that someone's actually really good for internal sampling as well. You define the length and then what take it is, sound or platform. Take, sound, or platform, or pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it on detect. I think negative 24.4 is a good start. Make sure you do have monitor on, or you won't be able to hear what is coming out of your source, your sampling source. So I have it on. Let's check this out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a listen to a few tracks or see if there's anything in here that I like. I don't know how it's gonna go. Whew. So let's say I just want to sample those little light hits, little bells. So once we're ready, we can hit start, and then as soon as this passes that threshold, it will start recording. And we'll just have that. Find something else, move on, click on the next pad. So kind of like that. So once again, inside of the software, we hit start. Or let's see where that's at. Actually, on the hardware, show you on the hardware. So on hardware, it'd be same thing. Select your pad you want to record to, and then hit start, and then wait for that to pass the threshold. And then you can just hit stop right up here too. All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm got this record right here. I sampled it a little earlier, but I'm gonna just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna resample it to show you guys how to do that one more time. So go ahead and click on the pad that you would like to record on. Make sure all your settings are correct. And I'm just gonna find it. I think it's like a 1, 2, 3. I am your master.
Exercise 2. Playing the bass in the key of F. Pattern 1 using tonics. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cool. All right, so now we got that sample. Now we'll edit that sample a little bit. All right, cool. All right, now that we have that sample, we can go ahead and edit it. So I really want just that 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pattern 1.
So in the software, make sure that you do, when you have your samples, I mean, you don't have to, but I prefer to put my samples on ADSR, which is this little section right here. So make sure that you do have that. Make sure that you do have that selected ADSR, because you have one shot, which will, when you hit this, it'll play it all the way through.
Pattern 1 using tonics.
So it's going to continue going. Whereas with ADSR, it'll play as long as I'm holding it down. As soon as I let it go, it stops. And then AHD is a combination of the both. So you kind of set, like, it'll play for a certain amount of time, but you kind of determine where it drops off at.
Pattern 1 using pattern 1 using.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on ADSR, and I don't want this beginning part, this pattern 1. So I just want the 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the hardware, I'm gonna go to edit. Then I can move this to where I want it. Then I want to say it's 1, 2, 3. The fifth little knob kind of lets you zoom in, and then the first knob lets you adjust where it's at. And then where's the end? Same thing with the ending. Second knob adjusts the end of the sample and kind of brings it in. So that's pretty good right there. Zoom out. So I have my sample set. I'm gonna go ahead and truncate this. Since this is the only part that I want of this sample, I'm gonna go ahead and hit truncate. Bam. And that just gives me this. Cool. Now, if you can see, the waveform is really low. Go ahead and normalize the sample. And I would not recommend doing this for entire songs or for long pieces of recorded audio. I really don't recommend normalizing, but for short little samples and segments, it is very useful to just bring up the volume of it. So hit that, and now you can see it's going to be a lot louder.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Then I'll add some EQ to take out some of the crackles in there, but
1, 1, 2, 3, 4.
cool. So now we have that sample, and then on inside of the software, we can go ahead and hit right click, hit save sample as, and then save it. So I'm gonna save this as 1, 2, 3, 4 intro sample, and then save. All right. So then now we have that sample that we can use inside of a song or for the beginning of the song. All right. So next I'll show you guys how to sample using your phone. Let's just get rid of this. Alrighty. So sampling using your phone is going to be pretty much the exact same thing, except you're just going to be using your phone as the audio, where it's going to be taking the audio from. All right. So sampling from your phone is basically going to be the same thing as sampling from a record. The only difference is I have to use this little dongle for the iPhone, a 3.5 connection to 1/4 inches. So connect that to my line in. This one will go to my phone. All right. And then we just find something that we want to sample. So this is gonna be a little weird, but I'm sampling this because we might use this for another project. So let's see this. Cool. So now we have that sample. I can normalize it to bring it up if I'd like. So let's go ahead and try to do that. Normalize. Now it's really loud. So let's lower that down now. Mixer. And so I'm just going to duplicate this because I want to just kind of mess around with it for a little bit. So I'm going to duplicate it. And I want this other one to be a dun, 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 dun. All right, know where this is at, right here. Cool, cool. All right, yeah. So that was our video today, man. Thank you guys so much. Please leave a comment down below, or if you have any questions or would like me to discuss anything else. Also, let me know of any other videos you'd like me to make or anything else you guys would like to see on this channel. Thank you guys once again. I'm Dank Frank, representing Genuine Reference Studios. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it, man. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.